Hello, everybody. Waiting for there we are. We're on Instagram. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you receive this message. We're going to get into some astrology, energy today, and a little bit of other things. We'll just, yesterday, what was the flowing energy? Yeah. So, welcome. Uh, wow. Yesterday, if you didn't know, I was at Stampede. So I went to the Stampede breakfast. It was Kids Day. Um, they're having more people than they've ever had at Stampede. It was, thank God I zippered myself up and I pulled my energy in. I was just made myself small, which is a good thing, but yet a bad thing is people bump into you because they can't see you. But just it was crazy. I mean, we stood in lineup. I don't know how we got to where we were in the line. I was just following Olivia, and we're trying to find the line for the for it, and in we ended up in this one area. Just one second. Oh, my scissors ended up. Got caught with my thing. We ended up in the lineup, but I guess we bypassed a bunch of people, and we didn't even know we bypassed a bunch of people in the lineup to get to where we were. If we would have stayed, I guess, at the very back, no, if we would have stayed at the very back, I don't think we would have ever gotten there. But we ended up where this one guy just shoveled us. He just pushed us right through. He just said, "Nope, right here, go, go, go. This is it." Um, so, but still, I'm not sure. It must have been an hour or so that we were standing in line. It was hot. Um, standing in line. I know they did the best that they could to get people through. Once you got your pancakes, there was no sausages or anything left, which is fine. But once you got your pancakes and that, there was nowhere to sit, so you had to sort of stand or sit on the ground. Didn't have any real tables set up. Maybe they were further down because I noticed that there was a place that you could sit, but I don't know. We didn't know that. Line up for the tickets to get ride tickets. I mean, you can buy things beforehand. You can go to Safeway and stuff like that, and you can buy things beforehand. Um, it was at least an hour and a half to 2 hours in queue just to get tickets to go on the rides, right? Any foods and stuff like that, you're looking at a 30, depending on, if it's one of the more popular food venues that people were going to. This was at Stampede. The more popular venues, I mean, it's a typical fair, right? It's Stampede grounds, right? It's fucked. So it was crazy. It was crazy. Would I do it again? Hell no. 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 Um, I found the grounds weren't properly set up. I don't know, this is me just in the flow of the energy, and I know they're doing construction and stuff like that. Um, I my mind goes in different directions, especially if everybody's caught in a thorough way kind of thing. So fine. It's I guess if you're well, even when I was younger, it was not a thing for me. So this is where when I'm looking at the stuff, I think it's great for the city. I think there's plenty of wonderful events that are going on. um my kids go to concerts and that they love that. Turns out I'm highly allergic to horses. Ended up at first date. Oh, really? Oh my god, you poor thing. um yeah, so we went in to see some of the animals. I guess we could have gone further in. We didn't see any horses, we just saw the cows. And that was it. It was just almost like people were coming in, at you. They weren't watching. So many big strollers. But yeah. But hey, I just made sure I pulled my energy in. As soon as we got home, had a shower, got it all washed off, saged, ground it. but it was a lot. There was, a lot of intensity, with that energies that were down there, and it just, yeah, it just felt weird. I don't know, that's my sentiment was it just felt weird. I mean, growing up, I used to go to rodeos. My sister did barrel racing and, helped out one sister's a real horse person. She owns horses. She loves horses. She's trained horses. Her daughter has done equestrian and jumping and things like that. So she's been in the horse world for basically all her life. Um, gone to rodeos, I've done the whole thing growing up, living on the farm and stuff in orchards. But it's uh for me, I'd rather go to the smaller, rodeos, to the smaller fairgrounds. To me, that's a lot more fun, a lot more intimate. Trying to find where they were selling things. I don't know if that was in the Big 4. We ended up in the Big 4, but there wasn't really a lot set up in the Big 4. Big 4 is a weird building. Anyways, I've already vended in there a few times, quite a few times. Whew, that's just because they used to have raves in there, in the Big 4. So there's a lot of crazy energy. I love the where they're having the rave right now. It's by the railroad tracks, but it's down on Ninth in Calgary. I love that because it's outdoors. I mean, that's what I mean for a rave. I think being outdoors because you got to let that energy go somewhere, and so being down in that area, which is great. So the festivity and stuff like that is great. If you're going to any of the pancake breakfasts, fabulous. I think some of the smaller ones that they have, either whether they're at the churches or the co-ops and stuff, those are great pancake breakfasts to go to, right? Because you're going to get a little bit more bang for no money at all, and just a little bit more intimate, right? And some of them have little bands and stuff like that are playing. So um, you can have fun. I know many people don't like Stampede, they don't like the energy, but I think for the economy, it's good. For kids who are making money fast, is great. I hope all the vendors down there make some money because it's fucking expensive. I mean, if you think that they have to spend, that you have to pay, I didn't see anything less than $12. Oh, I did see a small iced coffee, right? I was like, it's all ice. There's nothing else in there. Um, but if you are wanting to, partake in some of the things, yeah, it's some of the smaller venues. I think it's good community building. Bringing in the community and lemonade $8. You know how easy it is to make lemonade. They make a lot of money off the lemonade, but it's what they had to pay not only for the spot. I mean, is $5 for water, um, for the venue. Like those guys are paying a lot of money just for those 10 days. So it's the spots are going for anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 for just one spot. That doesn't include because then you have to pay for the insurance. On Stampede Ground, you have to pay for Wi-Fi each and every single day. So if you are needing Wi-Fi as a vendor, you have to pay for the Wi-Fi. You have to pay for the electricity. So it's not only the spot. There's other costs that you have to pay for. Along with is that they will even charge you for parking there too. So you have to pay for the day for parking. So they get you coming and going. I mean, for vendors, so the vendors do pay a lot of money. So sending them out so much vibes that they make their money back with it all because it's expensive, man. It's expensive. I mean, I'm glad it was free to go in. That was great. My daughter got a special stamp, so because she was going to some concert last night, so she was going back so she could get back into the grounds for free. And that's a crazy thing, right? So yeah, Stampede's a money maker for some, you know, and But when you look at like $5 for a water, $8 for a lemonade, no food was under $12, and you're not getting a whole hell of a lot for your $12. Like, that's just a small basket. Then you're getting, some ice cream. I think was $8 or $9 for a soft ice cream cone. It's a lot, right? Went to the Chucks, but was done and didn't stay for the show. Fireworks was done by then. Yeah. So it's even into getting into the bandstand and getting into that there. I think the tickets were $58 a person to get in there, and those were the nosebleed seats. So, it is something that, if you are going down there, make sure you're going down there with a fist load of cash. And then that's what you are doing. You're going down there with a fist load of cash. Great for the kids. My advice, buy things beforehand, you know, um, make sure you get your passes and everything before. I mean, they sell passes like 3 to 6 months before Stampede anyways. If there are any concerts, just get everything beforehand before that day. It's just gonna save you a lot of money, and and join in the smaller festivities. I think it was also they also had, just off of on the other side of Sunnyside, because that's I live right by not far from Sunnyside. Um, on the other side there was a, Mexican festival that was going on. So that's the other thing. There's a lot of other little things that are going on in Calgary too that people can participate in. But Calgary's a funny town. Once there's one big event, doesn't matter what it is. It could be something. It could be um, the show jumping. It could be another thing going down at the BMO Center. Whatever it is, everything else sort of dies. Nothing else really is goes on. But you know kudos for everybody that's out there doing things. Um, all the best. I've always thought about doing Stampede, and doing readings, but doing readings for 10 days, you have to make sure you're going in with a couple other girls or guys to do it, because otherwise it's long hours, because you're there and at your booth for a long time. So yeah, it's something to think about. Anyways, let's get into this crazy weather that we're in right now. And um oh, I just have to also say, I just saw it's an actual event, and it's called Hobby Horse Riding Event. And they're these young girls, I think it's in Europe somewhere, they're riding their little hobby horses, not real horses, the hobby horses, and, it's an actual event. I don't know, people are crazy. I thought that was just weird, just weird. It's based on a gymnastic floor, and I don't know what they do, how they ride the horse, I don't know. Throw that out there for you. Hobby horse riding event. So there you go. So what do we have? What I was looking at, especially with a lot of the energies, and where I am, I was thinking, you know what? I manifested this. Of course I did. We all manifest where it is, but I'm consciously looking at how I manifested it, because I was thinking for the longest time, all I wanted to do was be home, do my blogs, drink my coffee, connect with people. And I'm like, that's what I'm doing. I manifested this. This is what I created. I just forgot the money part. Damn. The energy part of how the flow is, because this morning was just a beautiful morning. Just got up. Mateus slept over. So, got up and set up my yoga and did some of my yoga this morning. Then got myself ready, made some coffee, started looking at the astrology for the day. I'm like, holy shit, this is what I created for myself. And I like it. I like it. I really do. I love that energy of connection. I love that energy that I'm able to come in and really focus on the things that I love. This is my dharma, my divine purpose in life. Bringing you the astrology, bringing you posting out affirmations and stuff. So, this is this is what I love to do, giving you guys the 411 on the cray craze of the world, right? Um, and bringing you that weather of what's coming forward. So, what's coming in now and what's happening right now? Well, we got a Mars opposition with Pluto. So, Mercury opposition, I should say. Mercury is in Cancer, Mars in Capricorn. So it's at 29 degrees, right? 29 degrees. So I was trying to buy folk dancers in the animal costume. He thought it was a costume party. Turns out it was the Furries convention in Edmonton. That's crazy. Those furry conventions are weird. But with this intense energy that's coming in, so we're going to be finishing, the moon is finishing up in Aries at 29 degrees, making a T square to Mercury and Pluto. So there's a lot of extreme, it's very edgy feeling today. We have Mars going into Virgo, and Mars in Virgo depositing, which is Mercury's the depositor, like he's there, or not there. He's a ruler of Virgo, and Mercury in Cancer. So this is bringing up a lot of intensity of emotions. There's a lot of sort of edginess that is feeling here. And then Mercury is going to be going into Leo. And the sun with the North Node is conjunct. And this is the last time for 18 years. This is the last time this is going to happen. And in Taurus. And so because the nodes are triggering Pluto, right? And triggering the Pluto Capricorn energy, and with the opposing of Neptune. So with Virgo, this gets things in a kind of like in a stalemate. And with Mars, and it's opposing, like here's Saturn, big old Saturn in his sun sign of Neptune. Things are going to get sloppy and messy. It's like this, trying to catch something. I got a squealing pig, trying to, an oiled pig trying to catch a pig. So you're trying to catch this pig. You can say a fish because, you got Pisces. So trying to catch, this, trying to grab a hold of it, and it slips out. So this is extreme, and the comfort of your mind is trying to understand and trying to express it. And it's all these conversations and all this. It's like all these cartoon bubbles coming out of your head with all these little thoughts that are coming on around you. So the extreme is there. So it's trying to understand, trying to express what it is that you want to express in these convos about things. So this is conflict that's deep inside, that's residing inside. And it's like, whoa. And Mercury is just having a fucked up time trying to realize, and Pluto's like Mr. Intensity. He's coming in. I'm bringing this in. I'm in Capricorn. I'm going to dig all this shit up. And he is. He's digging this thing up. Eris is coming in. And she goes, I remember you, Pluto. I'm bringing in this chaos. I'm bringing in more shit for you. And he's like, okay, bring it on, baby. Let's get it gone. And because he's going in, he's the underworld, he's bringing these things in. This is why that the movie for child abuse and child trafficking is doing so well, right? It's doing well. Why is it doing well? Because Pluto's bringing this up. Eris is for the underdog. So this energy, and the news doesn't want to cover it, because they're saying, well, that's just bringing too much attention to child. Well, no, we got to bring in child trafficking. If you don't want to bring attention to it, then maybe you're a part of it. Just saying. They're trying to blame QAnon. If QAnon wants to bring up this fucking energy and show what's going on in the world, go for it. Let them see it. This is bringing in awareness. And this movie, to my understanding, was made or started to be made in 2018. Not wanting it to be seen. Now, I know they were restricting it here in Canada. I don't know if they still are, but I know there was a petition to bring it into Canada. Why was because it wasn't, I think one of the excuses was it's not Canadian content. No, it's world content, idiot. So there you go. There's one of my tantrums. But this is extreme. Things getting sloppy. And Pluto's going to bring in these extremes. It's going to bring in this energy. And it's the comfort of your mind. Your mind wants to have stillness and wants to have calm, like I had this morning, wants to have that calm, but trying to express it and not playing the way it normally does. That's the thing. It's like things are going to play the way you want it to be played. Things are going to be played differently. It's like learning a dance that you've never danced before, listening to music you've never heard before, and you have to move with it. Yeah, is it gonna be uncomfortable? Is it going to feel like, I don't am I stepping on your toes? What am I doing? Am I supposed to be dancing with you? Am I supposed to be dancing with myself? What am I doing? Until you find that rhythm, until you find that flow, right? And that's what it is. It's finding that rhythm and finding that flow without losing it. Because we do have, with Jupiter in Taurus, is trying to bring us that stabilization, trying to bring in that Venetian energy, right? And this is the last full week of the nodes being in Taurus and Scorpio. And think about, this is bringing in, what is it that we really love, that we really enjoy, and that we want to bring in that Venetian, that very succulent, beautiful energy. When I think of Venetian, I think of Venice for some reason. Venetian, maybe because they both start with V. But Venice being that beautiful place, very beautiful, very romantic, the little bridges, the gondolas, wanting to bring in that peace and tranquility with it all. And that's what we want to do. And then with the waters, like, there's all these different waterways that are coming in. So this is to have, with Jupiter, he wants to have to keep and expand, but everything feels so unstable. And sometimes the things that always were are the ones that are unstable. The things that we always thought this would always be. So we're seeing banking system. We always thought the banking system would be something that we want to keep. I just looking at somebody asked me a question about the documentary. See, it's not, the thing is that you're not going to hear a lot about it because it's in Canada, right? So the Canadian government and stuff does not want you to see it. Just, I'm going to bring up what the name is. I'm so sorry. So many other things are going through my mind right now, but I'll give you the name of it. Sound of Freedom. It's based on an incredible true story. And it is breaking the box office records right now. This is a really where they're not trying to, the mainstream media doesn't want you to see it, doesn't want it out there, but it's really breaking a lot of box office. A lot of people are coming together, getting together and going to see it. It's in theaters now. I don't think you can stream it at this time, but it's earning $18 million in its opening weekend, and it's taking the number 3 spot. So, reports of people having strange experiences with this, of tickets canceled, air conditioning turned off in their theaters, all kinds of craziness to not have you see it. I mean, the powers that be, the evil, the darkness, this is all part of this energy too. The darkness doesn't want you to see things. It wants to control things. Our banking system, there are many people, especially well-known people in Europe right now, especially in Great Britain, whose bank accounts are being canceled, right? And they go to the bank and they can't access any of their funds. And these guys are people with millions of dollars. Like, where's my money? And there's no reason for it. The government, because they spoke out about something, they are saying things that the government does not want you to talk about, right? So there's that energy that's going on as well. So there's a lot of energy that's saying, if you speak out of turn, if you don't say our narrative, if you only say you say what I tell you, you're okay. But if you speak out of turn, then things are going to be disruptive, right? And things are going to get unstable. So we do have that beautiful Jupiter that wants to support us. The sun is squaring Chiron. The moon is squaring Pluto. This is confidence. When life works perfectly, and that's what we want, Virgo wants everything perfect. Wants everything, oh, it's got to be this way. It's da, 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 da. Virgo have their list. They're talking about things before they even do things. It's all going through their head, and they're seeing things. Oh, that's out of order, and you're over here, and they're already noticing that your books are, they should be color coded and height coded, and everything should be like this, right? So they want that perfection. They want the straight lines. They want things to be a certain way. And Mars is coming in, and that's not actual life. Life is not perfect. Perfection is defining a rhythm within every different way, finding that what we need to find in order for us to create and manifest the joy and the love and the peace and the bliss and everything else within our world right now. But it's feeling weird and it's feeling awkward. We're not at the and all I got was, we're not at ground zero. We're not there. We're not at that explosive place. We're building up to there. But this is that you will, this is where you have to look at the people. You got to look at our emotional, mental energies and the frustrations that we're feeling, seeing the blocks. And sometimes there's avoidance. We don't want to look at those blocks. We don't want to look at it. We don't want to look at that movie. Who wants to watch a movie? Who wants to watch about children and being raped? Who wants to see that? Nobody wants to see it, but you got to be aware of it, right? These are things that you have to know about. And the thing is that they're bringing it out where you have people stripping down and gyrating and stuff in front of children. That's fucking disgusting. No, you don't do that. That's wrong. We all know that's wrong, right? So that's not what we want to look at. This is where we want to bring up, have children and allow children to grow and foster, and so that they are able to see the world in a new way in order to create that newness. And that's part of what we are needing to do at this time. So the spirituality, so the rhythm with very different ways, and the spirituality to go with the rhythms differently, to allow ourselves to flow in different ways. Like, as I said before, like dancing. So if you are so used to doing yoga in a certain way, find a new way of doing yoga, right? Go to a different studio, find a different teacher, do a different meditation. If you only do meditation one way, and that's the way that you've always done it, people say, well, I love to go out in nature and that's how I meditate. Yeah, I love to go and I play sports, or I love to fish. Cool. I'm challenging you to find a different way of going out and finding that peace, because that's what you need to do, because that way may not be there anymore. So in understanding that you are able to just move and shift into a different way of form, a different form of doing something, is going to allow for you to be able to expand, right? Listening to a different teacher is a good thing, even though you may not like that teacher. You might not like how that person speaks. You might not like how that person looks. You might not like how they give you the information, right? I challenge you to sit through it, because that's where the energy is. That's where the gift is. It's in sitting in this. Part of doing, with me, yes, I've done Kundalini, but I'm listening to a new teacher and teaching this Kundalini. And sometimes he annoys me. He just does. But it's like, okay, I got to go back. I got to listen to this, because he has information for me. And I got to learn this in a new way. And this is stepping into it and learning how to do things differently than what I was taught. And that's honoring that. That's honoring that within ourselves. Same with if you've done Reiki a certain way for 10 years, and you go and you're like, nah, I'm going to take a new Reiki class. I challenge you to do that, because it's going to help you to open up and see things in a different way. It's like, if you've ever gone to art school, and when you go to art school, they get you, if you only paint with watercolors, well, you're going to paint with oils this week. Ooh, I don't like painting with oils. But it's a challenge to get you to learn how to do it. Oh, you only paint with your left hand? I'm going to put it in your right hand. You only paint with your right hand and put it in your left hand. Oh, next week we're painting with our feet. What do you mean painting with our feet? I've never painted with my feet. You're holding the brush a different way. You're using different brushes. That's where this challenge is at. Getting stuck in the same thing and doing it the same way You're going to find that things are going to become explosive. Things are going to just crumble around you. And this is where, where people can get into that, right? Energy of like, no, I've always done it this way. This is the way I've done it. This is what Dolores Cannon always said. Well, maybe Dolores Cannon was wrong. Oh, those people out there. Oh my God. There are people that don't believe what Doris Cannon said. Well, listen to them. Why don't they believe them? There's another point of view. Maybe they have information that Dolores didn't have. Right? Maybe they have some history. Maybe Dolores was connected in some other way that we don't know about. Right? That's the same way, when people tell me about Hay House, it's like, okay, let me look into Hay House. Oh, wow. There's a lot of things there that I found out about it that I'm like, ooh, okay. I don't like how the energy changed or how it turned, but I had to go into it to find out about it. Same with, Doreen Virtue. Find out about it. Why did she change? Don't judge her. Just look at it. Right? That's where the energy's at. And that's what we're doing, because we're going to be seeing the blocks and the avoidance, especially around, mercurial, like the emotional, the mental, right? We're going to have that. And with Pluto opposite, or Mercury opposite Pluto, and with Mars meeting up with Regulus, and this is where Regulus has moved into Virgo, and it moved into Virgo in 2012. That means it's changing. Regulus is the star of the kings, right? This is, I'm the ruler. This is where I'm ruling. I am Leo. I'm ruling. Oh, look at me. I'm the big sun. That is Leo, right? Here I am. I'm the big one. Look at me. Look at my mane. I'm Leo. Things surround me. The world surrounds me. Well, no, Regulus has gone into Virgo. What does that mean? That means service. That means getting your hands dirty. That means it's not just having a nonprofit organization. That means getting into the nonprofit organization and making it work. You being in the part of the nonprofit. That's where this is all coming. That's why you see all these world leaders that are like puffing up their chests. I mean, they're in Lithuania right now. They're puffing out, we're NATO. Look at me. I'm NATO. I'm boss. Yeah. We're seeing it crumble. We're seeing it crumble. So they're going to blame Putin. They're going to blame the Chinese president. They're going to blame Brazil. They're going to blame all of these other people because it's their fault that NATO's falling apart. No, it's just that you guys are a bunch of assholes. You try to fuck things up. So this energy is coming in and it's showing us, and it's a fixed cross, right? And being a fixed cross this way, this is like, so today, and as we're going through the rest of the week, we're going to see people that are angry. We're going to see people that are frustrated. We're going to see people exploding, not able to explain themselves, blah, blah, blah. We're going to feel it. We're going to witness it. It's like, okay, I get it. I need to move into a new way. Well, maybe if I took this direction every single day, I'm going in a new direction. I'm going to go in a different way. I'm not going to take that road today. I'm going to go somewhere different. Opening up. And with this fixed cross, this is one fucking bloodbath. That's what I'm going to say. It's a fucking bloodbath. There's going to be things that are going to be exploding. And it's funny. Ha, 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 ha. Maybe not. Maybe so. That NATO is meeting as this is happening. And they're going to be talking about nuclear. So we're like, whoa, okay. There's a lot that's happening in here. So there's a way to, this is where the pressure itself that it's going to help. We're going to help things, find things if we're willing to try it in a new way, if we're willing to try something differently. And this is where, a way to elevate ourselves right now. It's not just in something going, it's facing what we have already been facing it, right? Finding a better way to face them, finding a better way to deal with things, right? So this is where we can intake, this is a bigger impact that we can make upon our own personal lives. And this is the first we'll see, as Mercury as Mars in Virgo is a major opposition to Saturn and Neptune. So he's opposite them. Here's Saturn and Neptune in this ether and this flowing of Pisces and energy of Pisces, right? And Virgo's coming in. Well, we got to get shit done. We got to do things, right? You can't just be out there, not doing anything. You got to come on back down. We got to do some harvesting. We got to do some planting. We got to clean out the weeds, right? So this is where this, with this coming in, and we have this opposition. It hasn't been since 1523. We have Venus going retrograde. We haven't had that since 1840. And then we're in 1939, 1938, 1939 energy of Uranus in Taurus. This is French Revolution. Oh, wow. What's happening in France right now? They call it, the immigrants are calling it a revolt. So there's a revolt, I guess, happening in France. There's a revolt happening in Germany. So there's this energy of wanting to take over. Are they justified to take over? I don't know. I'm not there. I don't know the whole ins and outs. I have my opinions on more so. But anyways, there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack. We just had the president of the Netherlands being like, I'm sorry, you're gone. And the Dutch protesters are up in arms, even like they're getting more fierce. They're coming in. There's a revolt. There's a revolution coming in. A revolution of wanting to make change. A revolution to create something new and different. And that's what we got to look at. What is that revolution and revolt that we're having within inside our own self? And we need to hold the space, hold back. This is like we're holding the space, and we're creating this thing subconsciously that we wanted, but we want to bring back. We want to think that we have to control the universe. We want to bring in that we have to control the world. You can't. You got to let it go. You can't control that. Got to let it go. So this is, this is desperation. So there's a lot of desperation, a lot of energy of desperation coming in. Yeah, I had to do a lot of notes on this today. And relationships, things that make us feel happy. And it's not playing into the south node, not going into the darkness and going into the crazy depths of things. This is like, okay, you know what makes me happy? Yeah, I'm going to learn a new dance. Yeah, I'm going to learn a new routine. I'm going to try a new recipe. I'm going to cook in a different way than I haven't cooked before. Right? So this week and next, this is where for 18 months, we've been feeling like building and keeping things away from the edge. That's what we've been doing. We've been building, keeping things away from the edge. We don't want anything to fall over because of the nodes being in Scorpio and Taurus. This is making adjustments. We have not gone through a full review. And that's going to happen when we get into Aries, when the nodes go into Aries and Libra, right? A full review, plus an intensity of what are we doing? How are we creating this? Because who is the ruler of Aries? Mars. Where is Mars? In Virgo. But Virgo wants service. Virgo wants to have things done a certain way. Aries is like, we're getting it done. We're going full force. South node, Libra. Who's the ruler of Libra? Venus. Where's Venus? Venus is retrograde. In a place where in Leo. So it's, relationships and money and how how I am surrounded by that. What does that look like? And there's a lot of feeling of lack, a lot of feeling of I don't have enough or there isn't enough. So that lack feeling starts to come in. So this is really keeping adjustments, allowing us to adjust. And we have not gone through, as I said, the full review. And this is going to come in over the next, several 40 days and 40 nights as she goes retrograde. A lot to do with money, a lot to do with reviewing how we are maybe glorifying it, how we are creating it. So there's going to be some adjustments that are going to be going on with that. And as we do that, we're going to find the ones that work, the ones that don't. And as I say, Mars is saying you got to get your hands dirty. This is, and with lovely Saturn in Pisces, it's not pretty. It's a confrontation. And it's confrontation coming up, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible, right? So looking at things, it's not impossible. And there's a lot of beautiful things that are going to, there's a lot of beautiful energy that wants to create, what can we do with this all? What can we do when we are discovering, with that documentary? Yeah, is it horrible? Whew, yeah, it's crazy. But what can we do? What we can start to do is that we can start protecting our children, saying no to certain things. No, I'm not going to allow that into my schools. I'm not going to allow that to be around my child. I'm not going to bring my child to a drag queen and watch some fucking man dressed up. If I want to go see drag queens, that's my own personal thing, right? I will go to the club to go see that. That's what I'll do. There's a thing, there's morals and values that come in, and that has to do with Taurus. Taurus is your morals and values. What comes in with the morals and values is Venus. Venus brings in those morals, brings in that, because she rules Taurus and she rules Libra, and she wants to bring in that positivity when it comes to your relationships and how you deal with your relationships. Are you dealing with them in a positive way? Are you coming into that communication? Are you getting the help that you need in order to communicate? Maybe you need to learn how to communicate differently. Maybe you need to learn how to talk in a new way to that person in order for them to understand, and they understand you. It's adjustments. It's doing the work here, but it's doing, this work, this muggle energy, getting yourself in there. And that's the whole thing. When Mars is with Regulus in Virgo, right? This is where it's like, okay, we need to look at how we are being of service, not only to the world around us. How are we being service to our children? How are we being service to our neighbor? How are we being service to our community? Questions, right? How are we gathering within our community? Are we connecting with people? Or are we shutting them off and hiding away? And that's not where it is. It's about coming out. It's about connecting, getting out. I mean, did I want to go to Stampede yesterday? Nah, not really. But I did it for my grandson. It was an experience. We went out. I had to make some adjustments, of course, but that's okay. In doing that, that's allowing for this ebb and flow to go through. And we can't look at things as bad omens. If one thing goes wrong, you can't look at it as a bad omen. Shitty happened, and I had to make an adjustment. That's what happened, right? And it's looking at, sometimes when you have to make those adjustments, maybe you cut your finger. Oh, do I need stitches? No. Okay, put a Band-Aid on it. It's not I cut my finger, I can never cook again kind of thing, right? This is where this energy is. And the weather map is fucking hotspot, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it'll give you mind fucks all the time, especially with that Mercury opposing Pluto. Pluto's intense, and he's coming in intense. And this is the last time we'll ever see in our lifetime Mercury opposing Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn. We won't see it again. This is it. Right? So this is like really looking at, okay, we need to find our comfort. We need to find what we can create. And sometimes in creating that comfort is saying, okay, maybe I need to look at things differently or try it in a new way. What are new forms of comfort that I can create? And that could be building your body stronger. That might be looking at new ways of creating nutritional food for yourself that you don't usually do. Maybe that means that, oh shit, I need to go to the doctor because I need to look after myself. There's some things going on that I haven't looked at before. Those things. Right? And maybe going to the doctor or going to talk to somebody is uncomfortable, but it is in that uncomfortableness that you are going to come to a place of realization, of going into and removing the blocks and opening new doors that you are able to walk through. That's where it's at. So, so this is this is really creating a newness for you and creating that newness. Oh, it's an aquamarine. So where's that connection that you have with inside yourself? Where is that newness that you need to have within you and do a new dance that you've never done before? And it's not going to happen all at once. It's doing little baby steps. Maybe it's just picking up the phone and saying, I need that help. Oh, I need this. I hate to ask that person for it, but I got to ask them. Right? That's what it is. And it's going to help us when we get to ground zero. So all of this is building us all up so that when things really get crazy and explosive, it's going to give us that edge for us to be able to adjust, right? So don't get too comfortable. You got to get out there. Don't get too comfortable. If you're going to get too comfortable, you're not going to like the other shit that's going to be coming down the chute. You'll be like, oh my God, why did I get all covered? Because you didn't move. You didn't learn how to adjust, right? Look at what you're manifesting, what's going on in your life right now. You manifested that. You manifested what's going on in your life. And that's popped in my head. I'm like, yeah, okay, I actually created this. Okay, and creating this, what does that mean? What does that look like? What else, if I manifested this, holy shit, what else can I create? Okay, how did I do this? Okay, it was a thought that I kept on having because something kept coming up at me at work. Oh, man, this doesn't feel right. This person's getting fired. Oh, am I going to get fired? So the constant thought, oh, am I going to get fired? Then I got fired. But this is where it's at. It's like, okay, you know what? I want to create. Oh, what you know what would it be like to have a booming, bustling business? What does that booming, bustling business look like? What does that feel like? Oh, why am I so connected and to the divine? Why am I able to create and multiply and keep money all the time? Why am I able to have such fabulous relationships with such beautiful people? These are the questions, like putting in these questions, opening them up, and then allowing yourself to adjust to it. What does that feel like? Right? Whew, so much to unpack, there, and I know I'm just coming at you guys so fast and furious. It's just that there's just so much energy, so much information coming in. So bringing the cards in. I don't know. They keep calling me, though. That mother deck, it keeps calling me. So I'll bring in the mother deck. Kind of scares me. I don't want Callie Ma coming out again 2 days in a row. Like, she just keeps showing up in different formats in my life. So that's fierce love, fierce transformation and change coming in and having to adjust to it. What is that going to look like? So here we go. So for all of you who don't know, I still have my sale on for $33.33 for a 15-minute reading. And it is a 15-minute reading, 20 minutes. I try to keep it on track. So there we go. Okay. So we have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands, young, energy, looking up, looking at my passion, looking at where I'm going. There's wisdom there. There's a feather in my cap. Whew, look at what I've created. Look at what I do. The page is young. It's new. He wants to forge ahead. He wants to bring forth what it is that his desires, right? So we have that. It's wanting to create it, right? And with that comes the Ace of Wands. Woo, a lot of fire coming in. So there's a lot of intensity and inspiration. So the inspiration is like, yes, I'm going to do this. And now more inspiration is going to come in. So this energy of fire coming forward. What is it that I want to create? What does that look like? How does that make me feel? Ooh, the intensity, the anxiety, the anxiousness, right? That's the fire. It's like, ooh, okay, let me start writing this out. Let me start putting this out on how I'd like to create that. Right? So maybe there's a new business that you want to create. Get a board out. Start pinning things on the board. What does that look like? What do I need to have? What does that feel like? Maybe you want to open something. I don't know what it is. It's up to you. Another coffee shop. Who knows? And with it, you're overthinking it. What? It's like, oh my God, this is too much. I can't do this. This is way too much. Look at my hair. Ah, it's too crazy. I can't handle this. That's where this comes in. I'm overthinking all this energy, and that's that opposition. That's that Mercury opposite Pluto. Whoa, this is intense. We gotta do this. We're gonna create this. And your mind at the end, but I just want comfort. I just want to sit and drink my coffee and not think about anything. God, just stop, Pluto. Stop the intensity. And you're like, ooh, this is, yeah, I really want to do that, but I'm gonna do it on my own time. Wow. It's a lot. It's a lot. Trust me, it's a lot. And it's like, whoa. Whew. It just like breathe. Breathe, baby, breathe. I'm intense for a lot of people. I know I'm intense to a lot of people. All of that energy. I got Scorpio in the 5th house. That's a Leo and a Scorpio together. Like, whoa, crazy intensity comes in, man. That's why I'm so attracted to a lot of Leos. Bringing that Leo energy. It's like, whoa, yeah. But, looking at that passion, looking at that intensity, that fierceness, right? And as we're doing it, it's that emotional connection that you have to make. There's a healingness that comes in with that. There's a following that intuition. It's not just, people look at the 2 of Cups as just being love, right? But it's something more. It's what kind of contracts, what kind of energy that you want to come into. Sit quietly and drink my coffee. Yes, just want to sit there, just sit and drink my coffee. That's all I want to do. But it's coming in and saying you got to do more. You got to look at, the mind's going to be the mind's going to be fucked up today for the next while. The mind's going to be overrunning and overthinking things. And, it's supposed to be this way. It's supposed to be that way. And you're like, ugh. Like there's things that I'm thinking that, yeah, I want to do things differently. How do I want to do things differently? What does it look like to do my business differently, right? How can I do it differently? So that's the thing. You're a bit intense. Just a wee bit, Lexi. We'll throw a Gemini in the mix with the Scorpio and a Leo. Oh, that would make a great trio. Oh man, that would just be hilarious. That's all I gotta say. You got the mutable energy in with 2 fixed signs. Let's just rile up that fire and get the water going. Oh my God. That would be too good. Oh, what do we got? Oh, we got the monkey. So be aware of the trickster. The monkey energy is coming in. It's a cute monkey. It's a cute monkey. But the monkey's a trickster. It took the keys. Took those keys. So what does the monkey have to say for us? So I said, I have this deck. I have it. My son bought it for me. And decided to start bringing it out a little bit more. Yeah. Don't ever throw away your book. So if you ever have a tarot teacher that tells you to throw away your book, tell them to fuck off. Keep your book. The books, you need the book to help you to learn until you can get your own insight on how you feel about it. Shadow seriousness. You can get the monkey off your back, but the circus never leaves town. Milk spills in the middle of the Thanksgiving blessing. Car keys given up for lost. Reappear under the lilac bush come spring. You wrestle everyone into the car, miraculously fill the grocery cart with a tired baby, restless toddler, and then at the checkout discover that you left your wallet at home. At moments like these, we can hear our own mothers whispering their well earned wisdom in our ears. Laughter is the best medicine. What is Why is this so hard to swallow sometimes? Monkey reminds learning the wisdom of humor. Fortunately, your children are the masters of the teaching. I mean, how many of us have gone to the grocery store and like, holy shit, where's my wallet? It's like I changed purses or I changed whatever, I changed wallets and I forgot to put my card in or whatever it is. It's like, all you could do is laugh. All you can do is laugh. That's why with part of this energy too, and with everything, it's like overthinking it, analyzing it is just going to get you into nutso town, right? You cut your finger. Okay, yeah, I cut my finger. Oh shit, um, I lost my keys. Do I have another set of keys? This is not to over analyze and just get yourself into craziness. So become that monkey. Now, let me see if I can pronounce it. Amaterasu. Amaterasu? I don't know if you guys can. Beautiful sunshine, beautiful energy that's coming from her. It's that sunlight. It's passion. It's bringing that glowingness in. It's that reflection of your beauty, reflection of allowing yourself to be beautiful. Sometimes we forget how beautiful we are. We forget that, how strong and we are, and stepping into that. So with this beauty, let your hands touch something that makes your eye smile. I bet there are hundreds of objects close by that you can do that. Look at the beautiful gifts to us. Her power is so great. It enlivens the earth, the sky, and our soul. So she is the Shinto solar goddess, whom the Japanese imperial family claims as their ancestral mother, was blessed with beauty, with her long, silky black hair and generous almond eyes. She brought light to the world. One day her brother offended her, causing her to withdraw into a cave. An endless night ensured on the earth, and the situation became increasingly desperate until Yuzumi, the goddess of mirth, performed a brawny dance outside her hideout, eliciting uproaring laughters from the gathered crowd. Again, laughter. Again, laughter. Allowing yourself to come into the laughter, allowing yourself to come into the joy, in amongst craziness and misery, right? In amongst things feeling like they're so nutty, but you got to come into that laughter. You got to come into that joy and finding that joy. And sometimes it might feel very overwhelming with it. And this is where you have to have the tolerance for others, the tolerance that sometimes with all of this, when you are wanting to create something, you're going to have people that are going to tell you it's a stupid idea. You can't do that. Why are you doing this? It's the tolerance, bringing in that tolerance, bringing in that new flow of doing things. And sometimes it's going to feel intolerable that I can't do it. But having the tolerance is going to be important. Having the laughter in this is going to be important. And this is not being cynical laughter. This is laughter, even laughing at yourself and saying, oh my God, I was crazy. That was crazy. I could have done that so differently. It went so wrong, right? So this is a card of honoring the full range of humanness. Teaches that all beings deserve respect, right? Having that respect. And this is from affirming the rights of Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, and Confucius to a peaceful coexistence. This is bringing in the kindness and the love and knowing that, yeah. Sometimes there's some people that you see, yeah, I'm not very tolerant of that, but that's the way they want to live their life, right? They're adults, they're consenting. That's fine. That's theirs, right? Bringing that coexistence in. When this sage ancestor appears, she directs you to open your mind and expand your love, bringing together the East and the West. She urges you to bring the division that live within your soul and within your home and within your world. Kind of reminds me of my grandmother, where she always said, pray for Russia. And she goes, she said this from a very young age, from me being at a very young age, that places like China and Russia need prayers. And in praying for these places is wanting to bring in the love and the hope and the harmony within those places. Not to destroy the people, not to condemn the people, but to allow the people to stand up in their power and in their glory of who they are. And sometimes this means, like, for us to look at how we can begin to see the world in a different place, see the world in with new eyes, and try something different, right? You might not like East Indian food. Maybe it's go get a curry, try it. you know this means maybe you have never shopped in a certain part of town. Maybe it's time to go into that town, that part. Ooh, it's scary, people are different. It's embracing it. It's learning, finding out they have the same ideas, same morals, same kind of structure that you do, right? And that's so important. So, my loves, I kept you guys here for an hour. Oh my God, right? My mom said and did the same praying for Russia. Yeah, because you know why? Russia is the mother. Why do they call it Mother Russia? That's what I keep telling you. It's Mother Russia, Father Germany. There's a reason. It's been that way. It's always been that way. It's the mother, it's the nurturing. Ukraine, God bless them, horrible. Don't believe in war. Ukraine, it's the cradle. The cradle? The cradle? It's part of Russia. It was part of Russia. But it's that cradle. And now there's this enemy that wants to come in and divide and separate, right? Love, listen, learning, definitely. So important. So important. You could pray the rosary if you want. I mean, you don't have to be Catholic to pray the rosary. You're praying to the goddess. That's what you're doing. You're praying to the goddess. Of course, there's prayers and stuff that you say, but those prayers, doesn't matter what the prayer is, the prayers are powerful. Prayers are powerful. So bringing that power of prayer, bringing the power of the mantras, those are powerful. You're repeating it over and over again. When you're repeating something over and over, you're ingraining that energy. You're bringing that energy in. So let's bring it in. You want to ingrain yourself with something? Let's bring in the positive stuff. Never prayed a rosary before? Try it. Trying something new. The thing is that people want to condemn it because it's Catholic, but you will pick up a mala beads and pray those. And you're not Hindi or Sikh. Just saying, right? You'll pick up other things and you're not that religion or you're not that belief system, but that one piece feels really good. Maybe not the rest of it, but that one piece felt really good. So, and I'm not, just saying, all, just trying something new. So I can smell the breakfast being cooked. And what time is it? Because I have to go downtown. Ooh, I got to get going because I got to go pick up my son. Sending you guys so much blessings. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all that you say and all that you be. God bless, and the goddess bless you. If you're wanting a reading, get a hold of me, thegurumama@gmail.com. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye. See y'all. Gotta go.